and news, the conversation. I'm talking Joe and Fantasia into it, reviews and news. Man, let's get into it. May be great, but that's all right. I won't be before you long because I'm moving and grooving, and I wanted to still do this quickly. So, in Maryland, Capital Jazz Fest is a huge deal. People come from all across the country to come to Maryland to come to the Capital Jazz Fest. This is the 30th year anniversary, the 30th anniversary of Capital Jazz Fest. Okay. It is held at the Meriwether Post Pavilion every year. I know folks that come from all over and they spend the whole weekend in Maryland going to the different shows. I mean, it's everybody who's anybody in music performs at the Capital Jazz Fest. It's a gig that most artists want to have. It's an amphitheater performance. Again, this is the 30th year. I didn't go through to the whole weekend. Shout out to my girl Naisha. She went through the whole weekend because it was a birthday gift. Although her birthday was in April, this was purchased for her in advance to come to the show. So she had VIP treatment at the Capital Jazz Fest. She was in the front row. My birthday month is June. So all June, like I like to celebrate and do things. And I'm blessed to be able to get gifts that afford me the opportunity to do great things, at least in June, right? Your birthday month, you want to celebrate that. But you guys know I love concerts. Concerts are my happy place. I've been going to concerts since I was little. I don't even know how many people I've seen. That's how many I've seen. So my daughter and I went to the Capital Jazz Fest on Friday. So that was June 2nd. And we went to see Joe Thomas. He was Joe Thomas when he came out in 1993, but he's been going by Joe for years. And Fantasia. Now, I got to tell y'all, I'm going to try to keep this relatively short, trying to do this within 20 minutes. Let's see if I can do it. So, Capital Jazz Fest, we had lawn seats. We didn't have like my home girl. She had front row. We had lawn seats, but the place is not big. We saw just fine from the lawn. We brought our own chairs to the event, us and hundreds of other people out there seeing this performance. And if you've been to an amphitheater, you know anywhere across the country, the seating is dope when you're on the lawn. Some people had their blankets out having picnics or eating outside. You know, picnic is originated from a word that we ain't going to talk about right now. But everybody's out there, right, with their lawn seats and their coolers and their food, their blankets, their booze, their friends, their homies out there celebrating outside. And June is Black Music Month, y'all. So this was a perfect time to have it. And it's always during Black Music Month. So, of course, we park. And I was anticipating the parking being ridiculous because the doors opened at 6:30. And I was telling my daughter, I was like, I want to get there prior to the doors opening because I know what the traffic's going to be like trying to get into the venue. And nobody has time for that. We're not doing that, right? I want to get in. I want to get settled, get our parking. We had our parking already set. And I want to go enjoy the show. So we got there about 6:15-ish. So a couple of there's blocked off. So we were able to go around and go into the parking lot. And as we were coming out the parking lot, grabbing all our stuff as we were walking out, the line was ridiculous trying to go into the parking lot. But we were able to surpass the line to get into the venue because the doors opened at 6:30. By the time we got out and walked to the venue, it was already a little past 6:30. The show didn't start till 7:30, so we were plenty early. So I didn't look. It had been a minute since I've been there. I think the last time I had been there, not to the Post Pavilion, it wasn't Capitol Jazz Fest, but it was me and my girl Chanel. We went to see BBD, and we had VIP tickets then, and we got to go behind stage and all of that. Y'all know how I am about New Edition. So BBD, we got to go behind stage, and SWV was there, and I think Jasmine Sullivan. That's the last time I was there. But I had been several times, but I had forgotten, can we take bags? Can we not? You can't take big book bags, but you can take tote bags. And I always keep a tote bag, empty tote bag with me. So they said it was supposed to rain. I had a poncho, a jean jacket. My daughter had a jacket. I had a water bottle that I keep in the car. I had my battery pack just in case my phone went dead, and a fan, portable fan, some other stuff. So we were right on target. And y'all know when I do the review, I'm also going to put the clips on another review so you can see the whole show, because I got y'all. If y'all didn't come, I got y'all. I want y'all to hear some good singing. So we walked there, we set up our chairs, and then we went because I saw somebody with nachos, and I love me some nachos. So we went. I love to just get there early, get settled, and walk around. I like to see what's happening, right? So you might see some people that you know, you might see some things that you want to do. Oh, before that, as soon as you walk in, the merch table was there. So I have to get some merch. I don't know where my other tank top went from years ago, but this is a tank top. My daughter and I got the same one. So it's like a pretty goldish color. And then it has all the people on there. So just look. So for the whole week in Capitol Jazz Fest 2023, let me just say, it's from June 2nd to June 4th. George Benson, Stokely, Neo, PJ Morton, Fantasia, Diane Reeves, Life Jennings, Michael Phillips, Corinne Bailey Ray, Joe, Jameson Ross, Peebo Bryson, the Isley Brothers, Incognito, Robert Glasper, Donnell Jones, Teedra Moss, Kevin Ross, the DJ Spinderella, Kanya Doss, that's my girl, Loose Ends, Candace Springs, Marsha Ambrosius, Michael Jackson tribute, and so many different things. So my daughter and I both got that. So that's the merch. I know y'all love to see the merch. Y'all be like, where's the merch? All right. I didn't see any Joe or Fantasia merch. It's not that kind of thing. You get the Capitol Jazz Fest merch. All right. So we were there early, waiting to get started. Cayman Kelly from XM Radio Soul was the host. And it was interesting because we were listening to Heart and Soul on the way there. And he was like, all right, it's time for me to get off. I got to get to the Capitol Jazz Fest. So that was cool because we were on our way listening to him saying it. So as soon as he came to the stage, my daughter was like, look, yep. Okay. So, of course, Joe came on first. And I say, of course, not because he's been out way longer than Fantasia. He came out in 1993. Remember, I'm in Love, when Joe had hair. That's when you know that you're of a certain age and you remember when Joe started, when Joe had hair and he wasn't dressing in suits and all of that. He had that I'm in Love. And remember the video was like brownstones and he had on like his jersey and stuff like that. We haven't seen that Joe in a long time, but he's chill. He's mellow. And y'all know Fantasia going to take you to church. She going to yell. She going to preach. She going to do all that. So that's who got to close. But apparently they're on tour together because this might have been one of their tour stops. That's why it was just them two. And they were opening up the Capitol Jazz Fest because they're on tour with one another. So I was thinking about Joe. So Joe comes out. Joe is aging like fine wine. Joe is looking good. Let's just put it out there. He's looking phenomenal. And when I put the clips out of the show and the photos, you'll see exactly what I mean. His clothes were on point. You know, his skin was on point. He hasn't aged. His jewelry's on point. Everything. His voice, on point. And I'm thinking about Joe, and I'm looking at the discography. I was like, let me pull up Joe from 1993 and still doing it to this day. I love me some Joe, but my favorite album is All That I Am. I mean, going back and forth from Maryland to Jersey, I must have played that 62 11 times. And I constantly play that. That's hit after hit, although he has all the hits. So all the hits, he sang them, most of them. He came out to Power. This is a big rich world. And that's ironically my daughter and I's second time seeing Joe at a outside festival. First time we seen him was many years ago outside. And I was like, well, dang, we never seen Joe inside, right? But he came out to that Power theme song, and he did all the song, all the things your man won't do. He sang Stuttering and I Don't Want to Be a Player. What else? Let me pull up some things right here so I can tell y'all what he sang. All right. All the Things Your Man Won't Do. I Want to Know. He sang Good Girls. That's my song. That's my jam from that 1997 album, All That I Am. He did The Love Scene. Love that song. He did, he didn't do his first song, I'm in Love. He did What If a Woman. He did More and More. If I Were Your Man. He did that. He did a lot. Joe did a whole bunch of songs. Y'all know Joe's songs. Why don't y'all stream them so you can hear? If you don't know who Joe is, I'm sorry, because Joe makes great music, y'all. But he was phenomenal. His voice was like pure butter. It's so effortless. He's walking back and forth across the stage like he's not even belting out his hits. He was great. You know, I don't even know what else to say about Joe. Joe has been consistent for the last 30 years. Did y'all know that he goes with Roxy from 106 and Park? Some have said they've been together for 10 years. I remember slightly hearing that they were dating or something before, but 10 years? Did y'all know that? Does that sound even real to y'all? They took a picture with Holly Robinson, Pete, and her husband, Rodney Peete, and they were together and they were talking about love cam or love couples, and they said 10 years. I was like, really? But Joe used to go with Keely from 3LW's mom for many, many years. But I love that. If they're dating and they keep that right on the low, and I guess if you know, you know. I want to know. I didn't want to know, but we know. But one thing Joe has given us the last 30 years was consistency. He has given us style. He has given us no drama. He has given us cool as a fan. He has given us style. He has given us vocals. He has given us looks. He's repping for the brown skin men out there. And the ladies love Joe. But one thing about Joe is men love Joe too. They put on Joe's love songs. You know what I'm saying? So they love Joe as well. So we hope Joe keeps giving us more and more, more and more. All right. So then it was a few minutes in between, and then Tasia came out. Now, let me say, as I have grown in life, in experiences over the years, back in the day, I would be like, I love Fantasia. I watched her on American Idol with LaToya and Jennifer Hudson. And I remember the trilogy, those three amazing Black women in the top three. I was compelled by Fantasia's person and her story as a single mom, and she hadn't had education, and people in her teeth before she got braces, and people would make fun of her, and all of these things, and how she's blossomed and how she has grown. Like, I was always a champion of the person and wanted to see her succeed, because I love the underdog when they don't think you can, and then you do. I love that. So, but with Fantasia, I just remember I used to be like, I don't want to go see Fantasia in concert because I know she's going to be screaming and yelling, and that's how she going to do, right? But as years have set and have experiences have set, and as my womanhood had matured, when she went back to American Idol after her suicide attempt, after the struggle she had with that guy, we ain't mentioning him, and they had a baby together, when the wife sued her for misplace of affection or whatever that was in downtown North Carolina, and she was hitting her rock bottom, as we thought, because she wanted to commit suicide. And they invited her back to American Idol, and she sang "You Gotta Lose to Win Again." When she sang that thing on American Idol, everybody was in tears, including me. Because one thing about Fantasia is she's going to give you Fantasia. She's going to give you her soul from the bottom of her feet. That's what she's going to do. And I still, to this day, watch that performance from American Idol over and over again. And each time it might make me cry, give me chills, it might make me shout. It moves me, even all these years later. So you already know I was waiting to hear that song, "Win to Lose Again." And I've even talked about "To Lose Again," the lyrics. And I even talked about this on a podcast before, the lyrics to this song, because they're so powerful, and I'm going to read them to you later. But Fantasia came out, and you'll see it in the clips that I post after this. Leopard down, and she had like a waist belt on, like almost like the workout belts, but it was kind of like leather, and she had a jumpsuit on, leopard jumpsuit, and honey, body yada yada yada, body everywhere. One thing Fantasia got, well, she got a lot of things, but that body was bodying her everything. She looked like a fully grown woman who's had kids, who is happy in her marriage, not just very shapely, wearing that bodysuit. That bodysuit was wearing her. She was wearing that bodysuit. She looked good. Hair looked good. Makeup looked good. Jewelry looked good. Personality was glowing. She came out there. She was dogging the crowd because she was like, why? I've never been to Maryland and y'all been this boring. That's what she told the crowd. I've never been. Why y'all so boring? Why y'all acting perfect? Like, why y'all sitting here like, that's how she looked. I was in the lawn. The lawn was lit. I text my friend and I was like, y'all, she said y'all was boring down there. We lit back here in the lawn. Y'all boring down there in them seats, looking all like that. She kept telling, talking about the crowd. She said, all right, well then I'm gonna give y'all what y'all gave me. But of course she can't do that because she's gonna perform her fullest. So she gave us a show. The very first song, she called her people. Now this is when you know you a boss. She called her people out. Somebody take off my shoes. This floor is too slippery and I ain't gonna be slipping around here. Can I take off my shoes, y'all? Everybody know Fantasia's mini Patti LaBelle. She gonna take off her shoes. The man came and took them shoes. She put her little feet out. The man took her shoes off. I said, okay, that's boss. I said, I don't know. Do I have people taking off my shoes? Can y'all take my shoes off? And from the first song to the last, she was barefoot and she was running around that stage, high energy, singing one hit after the other. Let's talk about, let's see. She sang Hood Boy. She sang, of course, Lose to Win Again, and we're going to talk about that. She sang Free Yourself. She teased us with Free Yourself a little bit, and everybody was ready, and then she didn't do it, but then she did. She did Truth Is. And I said, she needs to sing Bittersweet. The next song was Bittersweet. I'm like, yes. She sang Bittersweet. She sang... I think she said Ain't Gonna Beg You. If you were there, let me know if she sang that. She sang Collard Greens and Cornbread. She didn't sing I Feel Beautiful, but I love that song. She sang everything. She sang a lot of songs. So, I mean, one hit after the other. Some, I guess, the less popular for the mainstream, she started off singing. And I think that's why the crowd, plus it was a Friday evening, people were getting off work, probably hustle and bustle to get there. And then she started off not with the hits that people know. Like if you're a Fantasia fan, you know all her songs. But if you're just a Fantasia supporter, you know the hits that she had, the bigger hits. And I think maybe that might have been the issue. But then you got to be, if you got front row seats and second row seats, then you got to be a Fantasia fan or a Joe super fan to get those seats, unless you just don't like sitting nowhere but the front. But people were grooving. We saw on the big screens, because the big screen was like right in front of me, right in front of us. And then we were right on the grass. We were in front of the front. So we weren't all the way back. We were like, there's the stadium seating or the amphitheater seating. Then there's like a walkway, and then there's the lawn, and we were right there. But whether you liked the songs, knew the songs, you had to rock. If me and my daughter were like, how do people come to concerts and just sit there and tap their foot? We were like, if we were up there, she wouldn't have been saying that at all. If all the whole lawn was up there, she wouldn't have been saying that. But man, you'll see some of the clips. So somebody started fighting up there. I was so embarrassed in Maryland. I'm like, come on, y'all. Y'all in this beautiful place, listen to this beautiful songs during Black Music Month. And so I don't know what happened. Somebody in the first or second row, two guys, I don't know what said. I don't know what was said. Did somebody talk about somebody's wife? Did somebody try to step on somebody's shoe? I don't know what happened. But Fantasia was like, kings. No, y'all are kings. What's going on? Why are y'all doing this? Not at my show. She said, this is at a Rick Ross show, not at my show. Y'all fighting like that at my show? She's like, we got to get it together. We'll march every time something goes wrong for somebody else, but we don't march for ourselves. She was like, we family in here. And she was like, if they got to go, y'all get them out of there so we all can enjoy the show. And everybody started clapping. That momentum was going up and up and up. She was like, And then she was walking around, switching with her body everywhere in a good way. And she was walking that stage. I said, that girl got confidence. She was working that stage. You were clear that was Fantasia's show and that was her stage. And I'm just so proud of her. She is a boss woman, confident. And just think, if she would have took herself out of here, all the blessings, all of the things that are happening in her life right now wouldn't have been. Think about that. I know she thinks about it because she got a good husband now. She's like, I got a good man and I'm going to be good to him. And everybody, they got a good man and good. They, happy about that. But she commanded the stage. Her background singers looked amazing. They had on like liquid black leather jumpsuits with long braided ponytails, and they look good. They look together. Her band sound amazing. Of course, Tasia was preaching up there, telling the truth. She's talking about during COVID, we lost a lot of people. She was talking about what I'm talking about ain't for the perfect people. Some people can't even get out of bed. Some people can't even, and she was just thanking God. And it was beautiful. She started preaching. You'll see in the video. I was like, yes, Tasia, come on, Tasia. And every time I hear Tasia, I think about her brother. Remember, y'all, she had that reality show, and her brother was like, you ain't ever been the same since Idol, Tasia, since Idol. I remember that. That's just like something if y'all watched the reality show back then. But I'm a fan of Fantasia as a person, and I love to see people come out the fire or the murky waters or what they thought was, and they keep trusting in God and believing. And she said this whole beautiful speech before she went into Win to Lose Again. She was talking about, have you ever been in a dark place or a time where you felt like you kept losing? And she went on, to talk before the song. And that's when it was just real. It was real good and preachy and just good, like speaking to the folks. And, everybody been through some things, right? And she was saying, but I got a husband now. And if you know, you know. If you know her story, you knew exactly what she was talking about. She didn't have to say it because we knew. She was like, I got a husband now. And she said, and I'm back in school. She said, I'm getting ready to, I enrolled in college. She said, I got a movie coming out. Y'all know Color Purple's coming out in December. I got a movie coming out. And she was just talking about the goodness of God and what's happening in her life. Then she starts singing Win to Lose Again. I told y'all that song gets me right here, right here. And I'm just want to read some of the lyrics. Lose to win. Never felt so ugly pretending that he loves me. Sometimes it's just the money. Never had to afford me. Now I'm sick and tired of you just taking right off. Now when I forgive you, I don't sound the same speaking it, I know. But you ain't here for dinner like I'm a beginner. I love you for your inner, and the next guy is out there somewhere, but you don't dare because you too scared. Have you ever needed someone so bad, but he ain't willing to make it last? Sometimes you got to lose to win again. If it makes you cry, all you do is fight. Can't go to sleep at night. Sometimes you got to lose to win again. Ever felt so sorry? All you did was worry. You didn't want nobody, thought it would get better, but it's fallen more than. Oh, it's fallen more than ever. I just hoped that we would, because you always up to no good. Maybe it takes someone else to show me better, but I don't want to leave you. And then it's, have you ever, and she's singing this like crazy. Have you ever needed someone so bad, but he ain't willing to make it last? Sometimes you got to lose to win again. It makes you cry. All you do is fight. Can't sleep at night. Can't get no sleep at night. Sometimes you got to lose to win again. So you know what it feels like caught up in his light. Don't want to try again, thinking, what's the difference? Why am I not interested? Because when you've been broken, you feel like no one can fix it. And then it's, have you ever needed someone so bad? And then, you know, the same thing. And then, oh, sometimes you got to lose to win again. Have you ever needed someone so bad to make it last? Sometimes you got to lose to win again. Now, pertaining to a relationship, pertaining to life, trials and tribulations, experiences, everybody has lost to win again. You got to lose sometimes to win again. And in that losing period, that's where the blessings and the lessons are. And y'all already know how Fantasia sings, and it was coming from her feet, from her gut, singing that thing. I mean, those two together on tour, perfect combination. But Fantasia, have so much respect for her and her resilience and her God saving her and keeping her here. And her husband Kendéll seems like he is the perfect match. They got married in a short time, and they've been together for years now and been married, had a baby, I think 4 years ago. But I'm just so proud of her and how she has grown as a woman. When you think about her on Idol and how she was a young girl and a young mom trying to figure it out, trying to get her break, God was there from the beginning, letting her in the audition when it was closed. And just one thing, God has been carrying her all the way through. Now she's grown, doing her thing. It was great to see her. So I'm glad that I got a chance to see her. And I appreciate the singing from her throat, from her feet up, and I appreciate it. And it's a great experience to see her, and I would definitely see Fantasia again. That was the first time I saw Fantasia live, and I would definitely go again. Joe, that wasn't the first time, but I would definitely go see Joe again. It was a great show. The Capitol Jazz Fest 2023, 30-year anniversary in Maryland. So if you're interested next year, the year after, remember the Capitol Jazz Fest when you're getting your ticket for the Essence Jazz Festival or Hampton Jazz Festival or any of the jazz festivals across the country. If you are in Maryland or nearby, check it out. I'm going to try one time to go to all three dates one time just to see. I've never gone. I've always gone to spot. So maybe I'll do that. I don't know. We'll see. But thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Reviews and News, Joe and Fantasia. Remember, you're a star. Don't allow anyone to dim your shine. Next time, best people. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, share. Let me know if you were at Capital Jazz Fest, if you saw Joe and Fantasia, or you were just there all weekend. Let me know about the performances. Until now, God bless. Till later. God bless. Peace.